Up next on Sci-Fi Fantasy, Boris Karloff's Frankenstein from Moebius Models. Hey everybody, it's Kenny Conklin from SciFiFantasy.com and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be checking out the work that I've been doing on the Frankenstein kit from Moebius Models, and this is the one that is mastered after Boris Karloff. It's a pretty cool kit, pretty good likeness, just some stuff going on with it. But a few things before we get over to the bench and I show you what I've been up to. HobbyLink International is our site now, and that'll bring you to everything. It'll bring you to the HLI shop, Model Builder International, Sci-Fi Fantasy, the community, which I'm always pushing. You guys better come over to that community before I reach through the camera and grab you all already. And last but not least is Modeler's Tube. We're working on Modeler's Tube, and I'll tell you why it's down. It's because we are actually adding live streaming to the site. I just bought a huge server, and we're going to have live streaming on there for those of you that like to live stream. It's just giving me a little bit of a pain in the butt getting it all set up. Well, not me, Tommy's doing the setting up, and we're having trouble having it see the server. So that's going to be up and running hopefully soon. And the other thing with Modeler's Tube is we are changing the name, because a few people told me that, you know, Modeler's Tube's kind of long, doesn't sound good. So someone is Ray, put up a picture on Facebook of Sprue Hub, which made me giggle, and it's more catchier than Modeler's Tube. So we're actually changing the name to Sprue Hub. This way you get a good giggle every time you say the name. Plus, it's a little easier to remember and like, the hub for models, let's go over there and check it out. So that's what's going on with that. So enough rambling about the Sprue Hub and all the other stuff. Go check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And if you want to drop articles for the sites, just let me know. Email me, hobbylinkinternational@gmail.com, or send me a private message somewhere, and I'll tell you how to get the article up on the site. We would love to have you guys post in your reviews, photo features, and all that other good stuff. But I will be making a video on the site soon. So now that's enough rambling out of me. Let's go check out Frankenstein. So this is what we got going on in Frankenstein. I got most of his, well, I do have his body together, his arms, torso, legs, his head. His hands are down here. I got his feet going, the door, and the background arch here, but we're going to have a lot going on with this kit. So let me show you piece by piece what's going on, because it's, even though it's a nice kit, there are some problems with it. So we'll start off with the massive door. This guy had huge seams up the side here and a couple divots, because this didn't come on a runner. It was kind of like ripped off a runner and just thrown in a plastic bag, and it's part of the box. But there's seams all around the side, which is no big deal. You get rid of the seams because you're really not going to see the top seam and the bottom seam. So just make sure your side seams are good. There were 2 pegs on the bottom here, but what I'm doing is I'm cutting them off. I got to align a hole on the top and the bottom, and I'm going to run a rod down here, and I'm going to put it on the base. This way the door can open and close. There's nice detail on here, wood grain, big metal lock here that I still got to put the little ring on. There's no keyhole, which is a little weird. Maybe I'll put a keyhole in there, but we'll get to rust this up and all sorts of good stuff. So it's pretty much the same on the front and back of this guy. So here's one of Frankie's hands. It's got nice vein lines in there. The fingers are very well done, if I could keep that in focus for you. Now this came in 2 pieces. You can see the line there with the little hole I got to fix, and around here. I know Frankenstein was sewn together, but some of these seams just don't look that good. So I'm going to fix up that little hole, try to get rid of the seam a little bit more. I may leave it faint and leave this one faint to make it look like he was patched together, but I don't want it that prominent. So they did a nice job on molding the hands. They look good. I like the veininess of it. And again, here's a second hand, nicely molded, little fingernails, nice details on the knuckles and stuff like that. And then you got the metal piece that Boris Karloff had on his wrist over here that we got to paint up. And it's the same thing. This is 2 pieces. You can see the mold line, not the mold line, the seam line right there and down here. I'm going to clean that up a little bit more and try to make that look better. You're not really going to see inside his hand, so I really don't have to do that crazy of a job on it. But you know us, we like to fix everything that we can. The next thing I did was did a little modification on his boots. I'm not going to pin him down. I cut the pins off. I put magnets in his boots. This way if I need to, I can take him off the base, and then they hang upside down. Now, on the boots, you can see the seam line here. There was a huge gap, and looking at pictures, there is like a sewn together part of the boot here, but it's not as big of a gap as Moebius put in there. So I decided to fill it in and just get rid of that gap altogether on the front and the back of the boots. It didn't look good to me, and his boots kind of look furry in some of the pictures, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I may add a little texture to them to make them look a little bit better, but I definitely did not like the big gap here, so I actually may leave this little bit of a mold line in here just to give that effect that the boots are sewn together. And what I did on both boots, as you can see, I put the magnet on there, I drew a circle around it, and then I popped. This one actually came out perfect. I was able to pop it in and it stays. This one was a little big. Put the CA glue on there, glued that sucker in, put a little Bondo around there. This way I can fill that in. But that's all I did, was drill some holes, pop these magnets in, and then boom, super strong neodymium boom magnets, however you call them. I don't know how to say the word, but I'll put a link in the description below. This way, if you're interested in those magnets, you can check them out. And here's the boot, and it's pretty cool that he will be all magnetized. I could just take them on and off. The next thing that I was working on is the base. The wood floor really looks cartoony. I don't like the look of it, so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be using popsicle sticks, and we are going to build our own wooden floor and make that look nice. This comes in 3 pieces. You have your left-hand side, depending on which way you're facing it, right-hand side, and a bridge in the middle. They all fit pretty well. There is a little gap here that I'm going to fill in, a little gap here, some in the corners over here, and one down here. And that'll be that on fixing this up. It's not too bad. The other thing is, this is pretty smooth in here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that like metal plates holding the stone in, but the outside is kind of smooth, but I may just paint that black because you're really not going to see it. Now, because I won't want to be an idiot and go crazy on this thing, is on the back, the first thing I did was use the expanding foam, because this is just one big cavity. I actually wanted to add a little weight to it. I put the expanding foam in there to fill it up, and then I mixed up plaster of Paris, which chipped off in some parts that I got to fix. And I'm going to be using cork and building a stone wall back here, because we're going to make a bigger diorama than what's on here. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to have, I'm not going to tell you the whole thing because I want you to keep watching. We're going to build a wall back here, probably put a little window in here and maybe some effects or something like that, and then I'm deciding what to do on this side. We might do a staircase up leading to make it look like it's coming out of the dungeon or something like that. But I have a lot of plans for this, and hopefully you stick around to see it. I think you'll think it's pretty cool. Okay, and here is Frankie himself. Now, there are a ton of seams on this. Down the arms, both arms, down the sides of the legs. Still got to do a little work on that. The inside of the legs, which was a pain in the butt to try to get putty in there and then sand it down the side of the legs here. His head is in 2 parts. I used plasticine, I think it is. Oh no, Plastruct Bondine. Put it on there. I squished his head tight together, and pretty much, let me see if you can see, the seam line is pretty much gone, so a little more paint and you're not going to be able to see that. His face is really nice. They did a nice job on him. Boris Karloff, they told him to take out his bridge to make his cheek look a little more sunk in, but on this sculpt, it's not really that sunken in on this side, but it's got a good divot there, but not like you see in the real pictures of him. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It's a very good likeness. His legs are a little thin compared to what they look like in the movie, but that's fine by me. His hand, I may cut off the stub and flatten it out, because when you mate them up, there's a gap there, and I don't want that gap. Or I actually may put magnets in his hands. This way we can turn his hands, give him different positions if we want to. Now, I had a vote going on between color and black and white, and color was winning. But then I came up with my diorama idea. And we are going to go grayscale with him, black and white, and that's because of the idea I have for the diorama. So his suit is all black anyhow, so the only thing I got to worry about is his face with the gray tones, his hands with the gray tones, his hair is black, so it's mostly black anyhow. There's really not that much color to him besides his green face and his green hands, so it's not too far off from doing either one, but we're definitely going to go grayscale, and I'm really hoping you guys like what we do with the diorama. So that's it for Frankenstein for now. As I do more, I'll keep you updated on that. I'm waiting on my black and white set to come from Scale 75. I ordered that last Friday and I haven't heard anything yet. So hopefully it's here soon, but I do have a lot more work and I have a few more things to order, which have to wait till payday, unfortunately. So come to the sites and check them out, please, and join the community. We'd love to see you there. More and more people are actually joining and posting up their stuff. If you have any questions or comments on the Frankenstein build or anything with the sites or anything like that, or you just want to say hi, drop it in the comments section below and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I hope you all have a great night. Take care and bye-bye.